All the Young Dudes by MsKingBean89, Chapter 47, 3rd Year, James Potter and the Lumpy Elephant Tongue. Tuesday, 30th October 1973. With Halloween and the traditional Hogwarts feast looming, Remus was keen to have the word swap and spell perfected in time in order to have maximum reach. "It's fine, Moony. We all know what we're doing," James said, returning from Quidditch practice covered in mud and soaking wet. The evenings were getting darkest, and Remus hardly ever went to watch the team practice anymore, though Sirius and Peter usually did. Mary always went to watch Marlene. She was following them everywhere these days. "I just think we should test it," Remus bit his lip, watching Sirius cast a dry spell on James. "Oh no," Peter said, folding his arms. "I won't be a guinea pig this time. Last time I couldn't get rid of that patch of purple hair for weeks." "I've forgotten about that," Sirius said dreamily. "That worked really well once we figured out the kinks." "Do it on him," Peter pointed at Sirius. "It's his turn." "Don't mind, Pete," Sirius groaned. He flopped down on his bed. "Do it on me, Moony. I'm not a coward." "Okay, fine," Remus withdrew his wand. Sirius leapt up. "Wait, you want to do it now?" "Well, the sooner the better." "What about the counter-jinx?" "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got that sorted." Remus let a smile creep onto his face. He knew for certain that the counter-jinx worked, but it was too much fun to watch Sirius squirm. "Oh, for goodness sake," James sighed, getting out of his Quidditch gear. "Do it to me, Lupin. I don't mind. Only I don't want to say any of the words on that awful list of yours. Can you do something else?" "If you like," Remus replied. "Yeah, about this list, Moony," Sirius said, picking up off his bedside. "What?" "Well, it's really long." "Yeah," Remus raised an eyebrow. "What's your point? They're all insults for non-purebloods, aren't they?" "Yeah," Sirius scratched his chin. "Yeah, they are, but I just didn't think there were so many. Never seen them all written out like that. And anyway, where did you hear all these?" "Where do you think?" Remus met Sirius's eyes deliberately. He'd been waiting for something like this. "Don't be a girl about it, Black. It doesn't bother me." "Right, James. What word do you want me to swap?" "Evans," Sirius said suddenly. Sick of hearing that come out of his mouth. "Okay," Remus smiled. "Then change it to what?" "Don't tell me," James said. "We'll do a blind test so we know it definitely works. Pick something Black hasn't come up with yet." Remus nodded, scribbled something onto a piece of parchment, then raised his wand, concentrating. He flicked his wand sharply at James and uttered the incantation. All four of them stood by, silently watching. Remus said. "Did you feel anything?" "Nope." James looked down at himself, as if he expected to see something different. "Well, say it then," Sirius urged. "A full name," Remus added. James cleared his throat theatrically, squaring his shoulders. He outstretched one arm and placed a hand on his chest, as though he were about to make some grand announcement. "Lumpy Elephant Tongue," he proclaimed. Peter burst into fits of giggles so strong he almost fell off the bed. Sirius whooped with laughter, and James turned bright red. "I didn't know you were going to pick something like that," he said. "That's my future wife." "Who's your future wife?" Sirius asked quickly. "Elephant Tongue," James replied, then clapped his hands to his mouth. "Lupin!" "You said you didn't mind," Remus replied, businesslike. "Now try saying Evans again, but really, really try to break my spell, okay?" "Elephant Tongue," James said promptly. Then with more force, "Elephant Tongue." He screwed up his eyes. "Elephant Tongue. Lumpy Elephant Tongue." He hung his head sadly. Peter could hardly breathe for laughing now, and Sirius had to lean on the bedpost for support. "Excellent," Remus smiled. He put down his list. "Hey, it's 6 o'clock. Shall we go for dinner?" "Yeah, just do the counter-jinx first," James said. "Oh no," Remus shook his head solemnly. "Sorry, Potter, but I wanted to test the spell thoroughly. We need to be sure it won't wear off too quickly. I'll unjinx you tomorrow morning." "What?" James roared. "Oh, yes," Sirius gasped, wiping tears from his eyes. "Sorry," Remus said again. "Not sorry at all. Just be glad we didn't pick a common word, I suppose." But what if I run into Elephant Dung?" "Oh, I don't think you will." Remus gave a small smile. "Hardly any elephants in Scotland." James grimaced. "You know what I mean. Lumpy. Lumpy Elephant Dung." Remus shrugged. "Don't yell a name. Come on, I'm starving." "James, look who it is." "Shut up." James gritted his teeth and looked stonily at his dinner plate. Sirius shook his head disapprovingly. The picture of piety. "That's no way to greet. What's her name?" "I'm not rising to it, you know. I'm stronger than that," James said, viciously cutting into his steak and kidney pie. "She's right there, mate," Sirius said, trying to control the smirk. "How'll she ever notice you if you don't call her?" "Oi, Evans," Remus said, suddenly waving at the redhead. "Want to sit with us?" She stopped and looked at them warily. "Why?" "You're a Gryffindor? We're Gryffindors," Sirius said, getting up to give her a seat next to James. "We're supposed to sit together. Plus it'll really bother Potter." "Well, in that case," Lily sat down. Sirius pushed Remus up to make room beside him. Lily looked at James curiously. It had turned beetroot red. "Why do I bother you, Potter?" "You don't," he said quickly. "They're just being prats." "Language, Potter," Sirius said severely, pouring gravy over his mashed potato and peas. "That's no way to speak in front of a lady." "What's going on?" Lily eyed Remus suspiciously. "Are you all making fun of me?" "We're making fun of James," Peter squeaked, sounding as though he was having a hard time containing his excitement. For once, he was not the butt of the joke, and it was clearly a dizzying notion. "I'm testing a spell on him," Remus said simply. Lily's eyes flashed as she analysed the situation. "And what was the spell?" "Mutatio verbi." Her eyebrows shot up. "Is that... Oh my god, Remus, which word?" "Lumpy Elephant Dung," James said glumly. Peter spat out his pumpkin juice and knocked his fork flying. Lily giggled nervously. "What did you say, Potter?" "Lumpy," James strained to fight the spell. "Lumpy Elephant Dung, lumpy. Lumpy." "Oh, for pity's sake," Lily glared at Sirius. "It's my name, isn't it?" "Don't look at me," Sirius grinned, holding up his hands. "It was Mooney's idea." Lily turned to Remus, a frown disappearing. "Really, Remus?" Yeah. It wasn't meant to be offensive or anything." "That's amazing," she said. "Really clever magic." "Wait until tomorrow," Peter said, recovering from his hysterics. Sirius kicked him under the table. "I'm so sorry, Elephant Tongue," James said, looking genuinely forlorn. This time, even Lily laughed. Wednesday, 31st October 1973. Nothing's happening. Well, they're not going to start insulting each other, are they? We have to push them into it. "Pete, go in." "Oi, I'm a pureblood." "Oh, yeah, fair play." Mooney, go and trip one of them or something. Do it sliverless." "Oh, my cousin. Yeah, get sissy." "No," Remus said quietly, ignoring the fact that he actually had no problem with Narcissa. He didn't want to be so obvious. "We'll just wait. Patience, Black, patience." "Might take days." "It won't," Mary said stonily. "You three must be blind if you haven't seen what's been going on around here." That shut them up. Mary was sitting beside Sirius for the second time that week. Remus didn't mind. He liked Mary. She was funny and brusque and bolshy, but unfailingly kind and full of compassion. She was his friend, but she wasn't a marauder, was she? Her presence felt intrusive somehow. Didn't quite mesh with their usual back and forth. And she always sat next to Sirius, which meant no one could talk to him without her listening in and batting her eyes. Of course, Remus knew that she fancied him and everything, but he wasn't sure that Sirius knew that yet. Or perhaps that was how you were supposed to act when someone fancied you. "What's been going on then?" James asked, very seriously. "Do you get called that stuff, MacDonald?" She shrugged. sipping a pumpkin juice. It's been worse this year. You must know Remus. Remus nodded, vaguely looking away, as if he was more interested in watching the Slytherins. It was the Halloween feast, and everyone was in high spirits. Professor Flitwick had enchanted glittering black bats to swoop over their heads, fine silvery cobwebs glistening from the rafters, and the great hall was filled with the autumnal smells of roast pumpkin, wood smoke, and baked apples. So, James continued slowly, have all the Muggleborns been getting it then? Even Elephant Tongue? Oh, for fuck's sake, Remus, please fix me. If you do my potions homework, Remus replied, quick as a dart. Fine, anything. I'll give you my bloody broomstick if you'll just... Finite, Remus pointed his wand at James. James stared at him, looking stunned. He cleared his throat. Lily Evans, he said, very clearly, then grinned. What now, Potter? Lily turned around. A conversation with Marlene interrupted. Will you go out with me? No, she turned away again. Cheers, Moony. Any time. Wait, Sirius said. Wait just a minute. The counter-jinx is finite and contortum? Yup. But that's just the standard counter spell. Remus shrugged. Never said it was anything difficult. You purebloods don't have an ounce of common sense between you. Mary squawked with laughter. James choked on his roast potato, and Sirius slapped Remus on the back. I swear, Moony, when it comes to evil schemes, none of us have got anything on you. Remus flushed with pride and shook him off, returning to his dinner. Look, Peter cried suddenly, pointing a chubby finger in the direction of a Slytherin table. Hufflepuff's second year had wandered too close to Mortimer, who stood up and was looming over them. Yes, Sirius whispered. Go on, you big troll. The Hufflepuff was trembling so much that they sloshed their drink, spilling most of it down their own robes, but also lightly sprinkling the toes of Mortimer's huge black shoes. The snub-nosed Slytherin grabbed the Hufflepuff by the tie. The rest of the Slytherins turned to watch, eagerly. Clean that up, you angelic sweetie pops. Dead silence. The Hufflepuff looked confused and let out a nervous laugh. Mortimer looked stupider than usual. What did you say, Mortimer? Snape asked, snaring at him. Angelic sweetie pops, Mortimer roared, red-faced. No, I meant darling sugar plum. No, goody gumdrops. The entire hall erupted in laughter. Bloody hell, Sirius said under his breath. Mortimer's really got mouth on him, eh? I didn't think they'd use half of those. Sit down, you idiot, Snape chastised the bully, who had let go of the Hufflepuff's tie and was helplessly spouting cutesy nonsense. That was brilliant, Sirius, Mary hugged him. Remus suddenly lost his appetite. Sirius just tossed his head gallantly. Just wait, he said. That was just the beginning.